This is Krovan back once again with Rias Nia for the Triumvirate versus HUN Reloaded match. Triumvirate has brought 2 Armageddons, 2 Abaddons, a Guardian, 2 Jaguars, and 2 Ishkars.
And HUN Reloaded has brought a Legion, 2 Dominixes, a Myrmidon, 2 Ishtars, a Tyrannus, and a Thrasher.
And we should be having the 10-second countdown here any moment.
I'll just give you guys a little idea of the field. It looks like both teams have warped in at about 50 from different beacons above and below each other, so they've got about an 80 kilometer distance between them. A couple of the HUN Reloaded team, the Dominixes and the Myrmidon, warped at 20 to the center beacon, so they're actually halfway in between the rest of the support and the Tri team.
And the match is go. Looks like those Dominixes dropped Ogres, so I was a little curious what was going to happen there, but they have opted for the heavy drone setup. The Myrmidon for HUN Reloaded immediately taking all of its shield damage, down to about 90% armor right now, and we'll see if he's able to hold up.
Seeing some armor maintenance bots Tech 1 coming from the Tri team. Looks like they're trying to rep up and protect that Guardian.
Yeah, the Guardian now taking a little bit of shield damage, now a lot of shield damage. He's just about into armor. Obviously the Guardian, he's not going to be really worried till he runs out of armor, and he does have quite a few armor maintenance bots on him.
Apparently this Myrmidon that's already dropping into about half armor is auto-cannon fit, obviously using guns that don't utilize caps, so he can run his micro-warp drives, hardeners, and armor reps longer.
Yeah, meanwhile that Guardian, now he is just about out of armor and gone. Wow. Just got absolutely melted once that armor got down to about half. Meanwhile, the first Dominix for HUN Reloaded has taken all of his shields and a little bit of armor damage, while the Myrmidon seems to have stopped taking damage altogether, or at least is taking it very slowly.
Yeah, there are a lot of Ogre 2s on the field right now. Obviously, you know, the HUN Reloaded team relying on the heavy DPS of these boosted drones coming from those Dominixes and coming from the Myrmidon and Ishtars.
Yeah, and it looks like HUN Reloaded has started focusing on the first Armageddon for Triumvirate, which is already out of shields and quickly running out of armor. He's already down to about 75% armor, now 65% armor. It must be those Ogres. Let me take a little bit of a closer look. And it looks like, yeah, Ogres all over him.
Yeah, those Ogres are doing a lot of damage. Vedic now from Tri dropping to about 10% armor, bleeding into structure. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of damage going on over to the HUN Reloaded team. One of the Dominixes taking about 20% armor, the Myrmidon regenerating shields now. And the Tri Armageddon is dropping to 50% structure, 20% structure, 10% structure, 3%, and pop.
Yeah, that Armageddon is down. Meanwhile, the HUN Reloaded Tyrannus, he's down, he's holding steady at about 50% structure, just pulled a little bit of armor back. He may have gotten away. Now the second Armageddon War God for Triumvirate also taking some damage into armor now.
Not seeing any guns coming from these Dominixes. They're relying completely on their drones. And I can't tell from the animation, but I think this Legion might be running a gang link. It's possible that they're using the Legion to provide some DPS as well as some gang links.
Yeah, now we have lost that Tyrannus, the Geddon of War God, now down to about 10% armor, just absolutely getting destroyed by these heavy drones from all these bonus drone ships. Obviously you've got Ishtars, Dominixes, Myrmidons, all have a lot of drone damage coming off of them, and really the first time we've seen a conventional drone setup like you would see out in the wild do this well, almost through structure now, and War God is down for Triumvirate.
And this Legion is actually remote repping. It is providing the remote reps for its team. Lantrum Omus in the Dominix still sitting about 30% armor for the HUN Reloaded team, and it looks like the linchpin for Tri really was the Guardian. They're just dropping pretty quickly. Jarek and his Abaddon for Tri dipping into armor. Looks like he's the new primary, just a cloud of drones around him. I mean, I imagine right now Trier, wishing they'd brought some smart bombs.
Yeah, and it's possible that Jarek is too busy typing something into local to notice that he's being shot, as now he's down to about 85% armor. Meanwhile, that first Dominic's for HUN Reloaded still steadily taking damage, but he's down to about 15%. But he's not taking damage very quickly. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, he may outlast this Abaddon the way things are going.
It's possible. He's getting some remote energy transfers, and it looks like he's nosing the other Dominics to get as much cap as he can. I'm not sure if he's local repped. I'm not seeing the animation for it. Jarek dropping to about 30% armor. Lentium in the Dominics for HUN Reloaded, still holding at about 20%. This is going to be a close fight. It may come down to the whoever's got the bigger damage controlled hull.
Well, I think we've also got to consider those two Ishtars are still out there, and those things are capable of putting out quite a bit of damage themselves, as well as we now see Jarek just about to hit structure, and it looks like he will go down before that Dominic's does. And actually, the damage seems to really slow down in the Dominic's at this point. Jarek now half structure, just about to pop.
And there he goes, another pretty blue explosion for us. Try now down to 1 Abaddon, 2 Ishkurs, 2 Jaguars, while HUN Reloaded is still fielding their repping Legion, 2 Dominic's, a Myrmidon, and 2 Ishtars with a Thrasher thrown in for good measure.
Yeah, that Legion now is repairing the Dominic's, managing to pull a little bit of that armor back, especially with most of the Tri-battleships, most of the Tri-DPS out of commission now. He should have no problem keeping that Dominic's up at this point. Is now DHB Wildcat, the remaining Abaddon for Triumvirate, is at about 75% armor right now and dropping rapidly.
And he's now being heavily neutralized by both the Dominic's, as well as it looks like tracking disrupted coming from the Ishtars. It's going to be pretty much impossible for DB Wildcat, who now is at about 20% armor, to do a whole lot of anything under that onslaught of warfare.
Yeah, no, I don't see lasers coming from him. He's basically just a brick in space at this point as an Abaddon without capacitor. So, oh, nope, there was one volley of lasers, but mostly just a token effort. Now we're seeing one of the Jaguars for Triumvirate going down very quickly. I think he'd had some damage, but then just got finished off, as well as the Thrasher for HUN Reloaded also now taking damage, as DHB Wildcat well into structure now and just about to go down. And at that point, yep, and down he goes, and it'll just be a matter of chasing down the frigates at this point.
Yeah, Ponky from HUN Reloaded was shooting at the Jaguar, and he's just basically burning around, getting repped up by the Legion, and putting his DPS wherever he can to kind of knock out those smaller frigates. Darkness right now, Ishkur dropping into structure and about to pop. Boom, he goes. Left on the field, we've still got Soul Killer for Tri and a Jaguar, and Qupadine in a Ishkur. Looks like the Ishkur is going to be the primary first, and he's already being nosed and neuted. Oh no, looks like they're going after Soul Killer first.
Yeah, actually the damage now is starting to spread out. You got to figure with this many DPS ships, they'll have no problem taking out one. But now Soul Killer does go down first. We just have the one remaining Ishkur for Triumvirate in this very impressive victory on behalf of HUN Reloaded. That Dominic's did end up making it through the entire fight. Is now that Ishkur about 10% armor, gonna hit structure, and that'll be it for him for the team when it's done.
Yeah, and Quadine, well, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Blowing up, pretty explosion. Tri are only going to walk away with 3 points. Well, it looks like the HUN Reloaded team is going to walk away with their full 125.
Yeah, tough break for Tri. With that, we will hand it back to Soundwave.